Well, it catches you off guard. With it only being a 10-second intro, it kind of really catches you off guard, but it's straight to the point, straight in. Wednesday night, thank fuck it's Wednesday. You're back again, mate. Are you getting the itch again? Are you getting the little itch?
I'm on mute, and that shows you how unprofessional I am, first and foremost. But I don't know if I'm getting the itch. It's more like a slight tingle at this point.
Oh, everyone likes a tingle.
I don't know, but by the time we get to like thought bomb and stuff like that, it might be a full on like scratch at that point. But we'll
see. Good evening, Fuzzy. How are you doing, sir? Thank you very much for joining. We're back again. It's myself and the perpetual one. We're here to talk about Thank Fuck It's Wednesday. Another day in the calendar that everyone should be aware of. And that's because there's good comics coming up within the next, couple of months, couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
2 or 3 weeks, I think it is it's not between 3 and 4 weeks. I was just thinking, am I like the odd one out here with regards to doing the FOC? Because I'm getting the distinct feeling that nobody else wants to do it with you, Charlie. Is that the vibe I'm getting here? Am I like the last resort? Is that what's happening?
How can I put this? Fuck off. Fuck off. No, just Tom's not available. Do you know what? Right before Christmas, I was like, this would be a good idea. We've talked about it, we wanted to do it, and I was like, right, let's go. Thank fuck it's Wednesday. And then since I've announced it, everyone's just fucked off. So I'm kind of like, okay, fair enough. I did one with Peter, he didn't return. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just really toxic.
Possibly that's that. No, do you know what it is? I just really look forward to looking through 300 comics.
Yeah, and spending time on the show to do that. Good evening, Ed. How are you, sir? We are due a beer and hot chicken wings, so we'll have to get that booked in the diary.
As opposed to cold chicken wings.
As opposed to cold chicken wings. These are hot and spicy chicken wings. Finger licking good. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Good evening, James. How are you doing, sir? Thank you very much. Fuzzy done FOC Jedi, mate. Take it. There we go. FOC Jedi. Fuck Jedi. There we go. Eduardo. There we go. So, but how have you been, Andy? Andy, how have you been?
I've been great, mate. Yeah. Work is going well. Family are well. Touch wood, all that sort of good stuff. And I've been reading lots and lots of comics recently, which has sort of got me back into the vibe of it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the hobby again, which is good. And I've been keeping up to date on my Instagram, doing my own stuff, and I'm enjoying being on the show as a guest, and things are good, mate. What about you?
I'm doing well. Loving reading comics at the moment. There's been some fantastic comics out there. So again, I'm pretty much the same as you. I go through a lull where I kind of read the comics, enjoy them, and then I'm massively into my Batman. I think it's on 147 now, but I haven't read the last 5 issues. Because I kind of read one, I was like, and then I kind of get back into it, and then we're reading other stuff. We're reading like the 2 comics that we're reading and reviewing on the show tomorrow night. They've been a breath of fresh air. They've been fantastic. And then there's been like 5 or 6 other comics that have been floating around, which I've been really enjoying. And I'm still enjoying the trade paperbacks. I'm still really, really enjoying the trade paperbacks, which is good. So yeah, it's good. Times are good at the moment.
Indeed. There's lots and lots of good comics, and having looked at the previews magazine, there's a huge amount of stuff that's coming out, especially the indie side of things that look really interesting. So it looks as if it's been a good start to 2024. But I see Fuzzy has placed his first Slab Crusaders order. He's popped his Crusader cherry. Well done, sir. And
I think for that we need to celebrate.
Yes. Celebrate it.
Well done, Fuzzy. Massive shout out to you for popping your cherry. That's what we like to hear. So yes, but we only like the comic cherries popped on this show. Nothing else. But yes, good evening, Efren. How are you doing, sir? Thank you very much for joining all the way from across the pond. And James, once you go slabs, you don't go back. That's how the saying goes. Yes. I'm sure there's another saying to that, but we'll go with that one.
Do you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing Fuzzy's sort of feedback on the quality of the comics and the the bags and bolts and all that sort of stuff. But Fuzzy doesn't hold back. He's like me. He lets people know. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he thinks of stuff.
Indeed, I think you won't have no problems with James from Slab Crusaders. So I can just I'll hold you in high regard there, sir. So yeah, Fuzzy, let us know what you think about that. So obviously, the first show was 27 hours, 45 minutes and 16 seconds long. The second show that we did last week was 1 hour and 7 minutes long. This week, it's going to be 6 minutes long.
Yeah. See ya.
Right down. No, we have changed things up again. We might over the next couple of weeks find out how the rhythm works, how you people in the chat and how everything works and go smoothly. But me and Andy have been spoken. We've been speaking and we've adjusted it slightly. We're still going to be doing the FOC. We're still going to obviously be doing everything related to Slab Crusaders and stuff. But we've kind of gone back to doing the slides. And then if anything else pops up from that and you guys want to know anything else in the chat, we can kind of go over to the website and touch base. I think that was the general premise of it, wasn't it, Andy?
100%, 100%. I think what we found is that going through like hundreds and hundreds of books isn't the most fun thing for us to do. I think what we enjoy doing is picking out, our top picks and maybe number one, some cool covers and stuff like that. Because anybody can go on the Slab Crusaders website, and we suggest that you do and just have a look through all the FOC and all the books that you can get. But we're just going to highlight some of the sort of top picks from our perspective, and we'd be interested to obviously hear anybody that's in the chat what they think is one of the top picks, or if you're watching on the rewind, just stick it in the comments and let us know what you've picked up.
And with that, so obviously we have gone back to the traditional format of slides and us talking about it. So this is obviously Thank FOC. It's Wednesday and we do this in collaboration with Slab Crusaders, who are fantastic. They literally, I say it time and time again, you won't get the quality of comics, the packaging, the bag and boarded, and them 50,000 stickers on the back of your comics that are stuck like Gorilla Glue. If you get them on the front of the comic when you're pulling it out, game over.
I have a little bit of the fear though, because I think because I called it out to James, I've got a fear that my next package, he's just going to put all the stickers all over the box that he sends me.
You're going to end up with Polka Dot Man. But I have heard from James that every single comic that he's purchased from Slab Crusaders now will come with 250 packs of stickers for your little ones or yourself to enjoy. So that was very nice of James, giving back to the community once again. So this is Thank FOC. It's Wednesday, and if you don't know by now, it is a live show that we'll be doing every single Wednesday, 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock, to give you the FOC knowledge that you didn't know you need, but you're going to get anyway. So up first, we've gone for our top picks. So how's this going to work? We're going to do top picks. We're going to do cover picks. We're going to do number ones. We're going to do facsimiles, and then we're going to do our favourites or anything like that. I've probably forgot the name of the slides, and you'll see them as they flash up on your screen. So you can indulge yourself on the rewind and let us know in the comment section below what you're picking up and what you're looking forward to in the coming weeks. So up first, Andy.
Yeah, so anybody that's seen my Instagram today, I put up a few comics for FOC, and the first one that I picked was the Six Fingers issue number 1. This is through Image Comics, written by Dan Waters. Art is by Sumit Kumar, and the cover art for the main cover there, I believe, is from Tom Muller. So I believe this is due to be in shops the 21st of February. I hope that is correct. I'm sure James or Man can confirm if that's correct or not. The premise of this is it's a mini-series premiere. Neo-Novena archaeology student Johannes Vale has always been so very in control of his life, but when he commits a brutal murder using the MO of a historic and notorious serial killer, everything begins to spiral out of control, primarily as Johannes doesn't remember doing it. What follows is a deadly cat-and-mouse game as Johannes seeks refuge in the rain-soaked streets of Neo-Novena. He will stop at nothing to unravel the secrets and ciphers of what he did and why he did it, but each revelation only leads further into the dark heart of his future metropolis and Johannes' own heartbroken soul. Grippingly written by writer Dan Water, with hauntingly atmospheric art and covers by Sumit Kumar and Lee Luffbridge, Six Finger is a mini-series that will keep you on the edge until the very end.
I like Dan Waters' work. He worked on a Batman story with Danny, who we touched on last week. He was a fantastic and in-depth, detailed artist. Dan Waters' writing style for me is definitely right up my alley. I love Dan Waters' his writing style, and this, like reading this and then hearing you talk about it, Image for me at the moment can do no wrong. Like what they're putting out is seriously engaging content. And I think the good thing about this show is that you can kind of, before I started doing the Killer Comic Show and kind of getting involved in it, I never paid any attention to FOC. I'd kind of look what was coming out on New Comic Book Day and think, yeah, I'm going to get that. But with the way that it's going now, a lot more people are jumping on FOC. A lot more people are understanding it. And I think that's what it was previously. Not a lot of people were understanding what FOC meant. They were kind of like, oh, I've missed a comic, all right, okay, whatever. But whereas hopefully we can kind of pass on the knowledge to this and give you like 2 or 3 weeks in advance of the comics that are coming up, so you can kind of get your pre-orders in, add them to like your pull list and stuff, and kind of get excited about what you've got coming up and stuff. But this for me is some of the covers on it are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to touch on your point there, Charlie, like I think if anything is a great example of why you should pay attention to FOC and get your orders and pre-orders in is Ultimate Spider-Man. Like anybody who got their pre-orders in paid cover price, if not less. And if you didn't, then you're paying what, 30, 40 quid at the moment for a cover A, which seems absolutely madness. But again, this is the reason why we highlight these, you know, picks and top covers, just so that you can get your pre-orders in and you don't have to pay an absolute fortune. So
well, James, I thought he was being an absolute sterling chap as he always is. I turned around to him the other week and was like, I kind of like Spider-Man. He hasn't really done a good story for me, and I was like, oh, okay, Ultimate Spider-Man. We spoke about it on the show the other week, and I was like, oh, do you know what? Let me see if I can pick up a copy and actually read it. Message James, and he was like, I said, oh, have you got any left? I'm looking forward to it. And I said, how much is it? And he was like, 0. And I was like, oh, mate, thank you so much. Like, he's gifted me, and he was like, because I ain't got fucking any left. And I was like, okay.
You're probably the 50th person that's emailed him to see if he has any copies. But can you just imagine, like, if you had like maybe picked up 10, 15, 20 copies of that, you know, you'd be absolutely quids in. Like I'm always one for not, you know, taking the absolute piss of making money out of comics, but if it can pay for the hobby, you just need to sell one of those, and that's your pull list for the week, you know. So.
Of course, and I think your words stick by me. Use the hobby to pay for the hobby. And I think if you do that, you're never going to be out of comic, and you can constantly enjoy. So yeah, that 100%, is. 100%. You take anything away from the show, use the hobby.
That's the motto. Yeah, let the hobby pay for itself. That's the important thing. Yeah. So this book definitely jumped out to me. I love this cover as well, and it just intrigues me. Like that synopsis is quite lengthy. It's quite wordy, but I'd like to hope that Dan Waters can sort of. Write a really good story for us, and I'll definitely be picking up issue number 1.
Yeah,
if it sells it, then I'll be all in.
And don't forget, these are in the FOC shop until Sunday at 9 o'clock over at Slab Crusader. So make sure if you read this, if you look at this and then you watch the rewind and you forget about it, just make sure 9 o'clock on a Sunday over at Slab Crusaders. Up next, now this I mentioned it with Peter and you this afternoon. I'm looking forward to this.
Looks really good, doesn't it? So again, the Fog. This is by Massive. So these are the same guys who were like Whatnot Publishing. They changed their name to Massive Publishing. This is written by Steve Ekstrom.
So they're not Whatnot Publishing no more?
No, well, I think it's Whatnot, but they've just changed the name. Now, I don't know why they've done that, but I would imagine that they maybe want to separate maybe any negative vibes or connotations that come from Whatnot sellers and Whatnot buyers and stuff like that. So I think they wanted to separate themselves. So they've done that. They've called themselves Massive Publishing, but it's effectively the same people as far as I'm aware. So this is the Fog issue number 1. This is written by Steve Ekstrom, artwork by Marco Federa, and the cover art on this particular cover is Christian Rosado. This is due in shops 28th of February. And the synopsis reads, 40 years after the events of the Fog in 1980, this comic series tells a supernatural horror story that reconnects several surviving characters and or their descendants from John Carpenter's original story to a new series of paranormal events that plague Antonio Bay, a small fishing community turned ghost hunting tourist destination. Now in 2022, something far more malevolent from Antonio Bay's dark past is rolling up from the depths of the sea. I think that sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Yeah. As soon as I seen it was connected to the original, The Fog. Have you ever watched that movie?
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Absolutely great. One of the best. And
is that the one with the ending in the car?
Yes.
where he has the choice and everyone's in the car, and then he kind of gets out and the army arrive. That
Yeah,
is
I'm
one of the-
sure James will tell us. James knows everything about movies and movie covers and stuff. Like James, tell us if that's the one. Is that the
Yeah.
same one that we're thinking about?
Yeah. But, I mean, that's a great film.
Yeah, and normally with these sort of whatnot stroke massive publishing, the paper quality is normally really, really good. So I noticed that there was maybe 2 or 3 different main covers for this. But you can imagine, because it's through massive publishing, that there's going to be a huge amount of homages that are done on this. So I'm interested to see that. And yeah, this is one that excites me. I know that Peter was really up for this one. He's a big fan of the movie, so he loves his horror stuff. So yeah, I'm all in for this one.
Yeah, I mean, the cover of it just looks awesome, doesn't it? I mean, that looks like a movie. That it looks like a movie poster. And
It does.
sometimes I do get intrigued when it's a movie poster. I'm like, oh, there's going to be elements taken from the movie or something like that. No, not the right one.
James is like, no, not the right one. Jesus, listen, we are absolutely useless. This is me officially handing in my geek card. James, I'm so glad you're here to keep us right.
I think that one. I think it's The Mist. Is that one? Is it The Mist?
The Mist, the Fog, it's the same thing, guys. Same thing.
Yes, it is The Mist. Anyway, we missed that one. We're talking about Fog, but yeah, looking forward to this one. Looking forward to it.
My only concern is that obviously this is Christian Rosado's front cover art. Like, I'd be interested to see what the interior art's going to be like.
There we go. You're thinking about The Mist.
Is there anything this guy doesn't know?
It's like Brainiac.
Pinky in the brain. There we go.
I mean, just picture him sitting there going, bing, 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 just like Rain Man. You know, like Alan from what is that? Hangover. You know, where he sits there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how I picture James when he's going through his comics. He's like, right, FOC, I can get these. But, that's it.
Just like code in his eyes.
Matrix. There we go. Oh, look at this one.
Yeah, this was an interesting synopsis for this one. So this is, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but Golgotha, Motor Mountain. This is written by Matthew Ehrman and Lonnie Nadler, and the art and cover art is by Robbie Rodriguez. It's in shops due the 6th of March, and it's through IDW Publishing. So, first of all, it was the cover that drew me in for this one. It just looked chaos, to be fair. And I love the use of the colours on this, so I'll be interested to see if Robbie is actually doing the colours on this, if it's somebody else. But joint superstar artist Robbie Rodriguez, who's better known for Spider-Gwen, and the dynamic writing duo of Matthew Ehrman, who done Witchblood, and Lonnie Nadler, Age of X-Men, on a high-octane motor massacre when a derelict chunk of a passing interstellar rock rains down on Elwood and Vernon Damnage's meth lab. I'd love it. I love it. Meth lab. And no, this is what Golgotha Knob, Kentucky.
Golgotha Knob.
Are we making this place up? Is there actually somebody be careful when they're googling this, please, because I don't think that'll be work safe. Their lives are turned into a redneck body horror nightmare. Still needing to make their deliveries to the buyers, mutations or not, they set off down Golgotha Knob, only to be beset on all sides by crazed addicts, cannibal police, and mutated neo-Nazis. It doesn't matter what waits at the bottom of Golgotha Knob, you can quote me on that, for the Damnage brothers, because they must ride through a cosmic hell that they're unlikely to survive. But if these brothers do survive, they'll finally have made enough money to start over in the beautiful utopia that is Cincinnati. This sounds absolute chaos to me, and I'm so intrigued to see what it's about.
It just seems like it's full of a bunch of dicks.
Honestly, I had to reread the synopsis a few times, and even when I was like copying and pasting it and reading it again, I was like, "Am I sure I copied and pasted this correct?" You know, I'm not too sure.
James has said this one I wasn't really sold on. The names just seem way too silly for me. Like Golgotha Motor Mountain, like it just. I don't know. I'm intrigued by because, yeah, it just what's that film with Kevin Bacon in it? Tremors. The thing behind the main purple thing behind looks like a tremor.
Yeah, it does a wee bit. Yeah,
and then them two.
I think it might be one of those ones that maybe like, is it going to be just like silliness as opposed to having any sort of deeper, meaningful?
I think it's going to be. It's going to be interesting to see the internal artwork.
Yeah, definitely,
Um,
yeah.
but I'd give this one a read, you know.
I'm too intrigued not to. I'll definitely give issue 1 a read and see if it's as mad as it looks.
Golgotha Motor Mount. What mouthful? Jesus, I feel like a knob reading it. So there we go. Right, so I've gone for Animal Pound, issue number 2. This is written by Tom King, and then the art and cover art is by Peter Gross. This is in shops in week number 7, I believe, which is the 21st of Feb. Now, this is from Boom Studios. We mentioned last week on the Killer Comic Show that Boom Studios had kind of gone under the radar in the last year and a half, so they hadn't really had anything. I think you had yeah, they had some big hits, and then I think all the money kind of went to their head, and they haven't really done anything. But with Animal Pound, I've read issue number 1. It's kind of like when the animals are fed up of being animals, and they just kind of turn around and they kind of want to run the place. This is kind of what it is. But issue number 2 is the groundbreaking graphic storytelling event series continues as the animals find themselves faced with a new challenge: freedom. With food supplies dwindling, the animals must decide quickly how best to organise their begotten society and make decisions as a group, or risk losing everything. Eisner Award winner writer Tom King, The Human Target, Love Everlasting, and New York Times bestseller. Eisner Award nominated artist Peter Gross, American Jesus, The Books of Magic,
Okay.
continue their collaboration on a series that critics are already calling a classic in the making. Now, obviously, you had Stray Dogs, which kind of took the comic world by surprise. Everyone was like, "Oh, these cute little puppies. There's 750 variant covers for issue number 1. How's this going to work? What's the story going to be like?" It was a really, really good story. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Really, really loved it. Then you had Animal Castle, which was
This is what
sensational.
reminded me of this book when you were reading the synopsis
Yeah,
though.
which Animal Castle for me, the art by I can't remember his name, something Dilip, is amazing. It's a
Mhm.
really in-depth artistic. I'd say it's more like a novel than a comic book, because kind of when you
Yeah,
read
it's
all the, it's great.
quite
Um,
woody.
yeah, but this is wicked. This is awesome, and it's such an enjoyable book. And I'm just glad that this is. I found out about this on FOC, so I'm
Mhm.
glad that I've managed to keep it up, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Have you read this one?
I haven't. No, it's one that I did see on the FOC list, and I think because I hadn't read issue number 1, I just didn't bother putting it in my picks.
Mhm.
But I think having seen that it's Tom King and it's Peter Gross in particular,
Mhm.
American Jesus was a fantastic book. So I think I will download that tonight and read issue number 1 at least.
Like Tom King for me is great. Obviously, he can kind of just get stereotyped, and you kind of tunnel visioned of what he's done, and he's done some great stuff. But yeah, he's this is a great comic. I'm really, really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can kind of review it on the Killer Comic Show when it comes about. But yeah, that's Boom Studios. Hopefully, this is the one that kind of picks up Boom Studios and makes them get back up to where they should be.
Yeah.
Then now, so obviously I've gone for Spawn at 350. This is basically written, as always, by the most famous Todd McFarlane and Rory McConville. And then you've got the art by Carla Barberi, Brett Booth, and then the cover art of this sensational cover is done by Puppeteer Lee. Now, I just
Mhm.
want to touch on something. So you would have seen James release like a publication on the Facebook Slab Crusaders website, and it says the FOC list is now live on the website, and we have yet another FOC and great deal for you this week. To celebrate Spawn reaching issue 350, we have discounted all covers bought through the Slab Crusaders and Slab Crusader Plus Raw options by 10%. All you have to do is enter the following discount code at checkout: Spawn 350. So all covers that have been bought under the Slab Crusade and the Slab Crusade Plus Raw are discounted by 10% because of Spawn 350. This is a record, 350 issues. This must be
Crazy.
one of the longest running comics out there, if
Yeah.
not the longest one.
Yeah, no, I think it is pretty much the longest one. Obviously, if you don't count Judge Dredd and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I think I fell off Spawn about issue 310.
Mhm.
I gave up at that point because at that point I was collecting every single cover.
Yeah.
But I always say to anybody who's thinking, well, where do I start? That the best place to start with Spawn is issue number 1. I think the
Mhm.
first 15 issues are probably some of the best. And then from sort of 50 onwards, you're sort of getting into like Greg Capullo art,
Mhm.
and that's enough to just buy this book. And interestingly enough, Rory McConville's like from my neck of the woods, so
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool to see him writing with Todd McFarlane. But again, I think Spawn's going to be one of those books, even though there's such a big print count, especially for this issue, that there's always going to be some value because you'll always find at least one Spawn fan in amongst the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, but this is awesome, though. I mean, obviously, the Throne of Hell has sat vacant and empty since issue 100 of Spawn, so 250 issues ago. They still haven't found the throne, found someone to sit on it. After the death of Malbolgia, am I pronouncing that right?
Commit. Yeah.
Malbolgia, at the hands of Al Simmons, no one has proven themselves worthy enough to claim the power of the throne for themselves until now. Spawn 350, a story 32 years in the making, is finally here. Who takes the throne? Who becomes the supreme ruler of hell? If that isn't enough to wet your whistle and get you wanting to read Spawn, I don't really know what is. 32 years in the making.
That's how long it's been going for, hasn't it? 32 years would be, yeah. That's what, 1990.
Jesus. But am I tempting fate here to thinking this is the end of the end, or do you think Spawn will just keep going and going and going?
Oh no, I think Spawn will keep going in some way or fashion or form. Like, we've got so many spin-offs, and Todd McFarlane's already said that the Spawn movie is going to happen whether or not he has to pay for it himself. So I think this will definitely happen in some form. Check out there's a black and white cover. I think it's cover D. It's not of this particular cover, it's of the Todd McFarlane cover, and it's fantastic. I actually consider sticking it on my list today to pick up. So.
Oh, cool. But yeah, I mean, I haven't read any Spawn. I think one of them that we reviewed on the show a couple of years ago was Spawn. I don't know. He was like a cowboy Spawn or something.
Gunslinger,
and I just didn't enjoy it. I was just like,
in fairness, it wasn't great. Like, I haven't read a good sort of spin-off. But there is there's I can't even remember their name now. The two cops that are in Spawn, they have a spin-off coming out soon, and that looks really, really interesting. I'd definitely be interested in picking that up.
Oh, cool. So yeah, Spawn, £350. £350. 350th issue. If you head over to Slab Crusaders now, all cover purchases from Slab Crusaders and the Slab Crusaders plus Raw will receive 10% off, and you can't go wrong with that. All you have to do is put in Spawn 350 in the discount code when you're checking out. So head over and do that. I've gone for the Punisher issue number 6 next by Marvel, written by Dave Propose, art by Dave Watcher, and the cover artist is Rod Reese. I've been reading this. I am thoroughly enjoying it. It started off a bit slow, but it's getting very, very good now. If you're a fan of Saw, the Saw movies, and everything like that, you're going to enjoy this one, because I think this is kind of like a little homage tale back to Who is Jigsaw and stuff like that.
You realise who the writer is, don't you?
Who?
So Dave Propose was the guy that wrote Scouts Honor.
Is that him?
Yeah. I actually think he was at Thought Bubble last year, so he was. We didn't get a chance to say hello, but
Scouts Honor was great.
I knew I recognised the name. I'm just looking at his back catalogue here. He's done some Moon Knight. He's done The Devil That Wears My Face.
He's done quite a lot. Devil That Wears My Face is awesome.
Yeah, he's been involved in quite a few books. So yeah, no, I know that the last volume of Punisher, a few of the guys, including Peter, speak really highly of it. I have not had the chance to read it, but it's definitely something I'd like to sit down and actually, read all at one time as opposed to week on week.
Yeah, but this is Who is Jigsaw? Ever since his family was murdered, retired SHIELD agent Joe Garrison has turned New York City upside down in his bloody search for answers. But now he's finally put all the pieces together, and what he's found could lead to an all-out war. Alone and outgunned, Joe must push his deadly set of skills to their limit to stop the clandestine terror group known as Jigsaw. But even if he survives, can this all-new Punisher finally come to terms with his role as the Marvel Universe's most dangerous hero? That's interesting. That is interesting, but it is a good run. It is a good run.
Is that a new team Jigsaw, like that Jigsaw, like that group? Is that a new team, or is that
they came? I think was it issue number 4. I think you kind of get to them, you kind of understand them and stuff, because he's basically been framed for the murder of his family and stuff like that, and he kind of thinks it's all transcending that it's down to Jigsaw, who's got a personal vendetta with Joe Garrison and stuff.
Why has the Punisher got a Nerf gun?
Who knows? Because he's had enough.
Hey.
There we go. And look, everyone has said Dave Propose is a really good writer. Yeah, he is. He's a good writer. So yeah, so that's Marvel issue number 6, and then that covers all of them. We've got through some 6 good comics there.
Yeah, I think they were decent ones. I'd be interested in if anybody in the chat, anybody's watching the rewind, if there's anything else on FOC that's sort of taken anybody's fancy that we've maybe missed.
Yeah.
Because I went through the list. I don't know if it was the same as you, Charlie, but I went through it maybe 2 or 3 times today. And I thought it was kind of a lacking on quality. I think they were kind of the best of the bunch, but I'd be interested to see if there's maybe anything that I've missed.
But what we have got though, so for this one, we have, I'm just on the Slag Crusaders website now. It is the first appearance of Jigsaw, which is the terror organisation. For Spawn 350 is obviously the 350th issue. We have Animal Pound, which, let's have a quick look. Animal Pound. There we go. The Animal Pound is, nope, it's just the Animal Pound. And then do we have anything Spawn? Animal Pound, Galifica, and the Fog as well. So yes, I mean that's the first appearance of the militia group called the Jigsaw.
That's actually a good idea. Maybe for next week, if there is any sort of reasons why it could be a key, we could maybe highlight them on the slide and stuff like that. And mention that.
So the 350 issue is Who Takes the Throne. So I guess you'll find out who becomes the supreme ruler of hell for that one. So that'd be interesting. But back over to the slides now. So where are we? There we go. Right. So we are now on to cover picks. So these are our cover picks. There we go. He's a cop in the storyline. There we go. Star Wars issue. I missed a few comments here. Check out his book Spencer and Locke. It's like a take of Calvin and Hobbes comic strip. Okay.
Oh, cool. Calvin and Hobbes is great. Yeah.
Star Wars Vision 1 on the FOC list is this this week.
Was that delayed for a week in that case, James? Because I was almost positive that it was on last week's FOC.
I swear it was on last week's FOC. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cover picks. These are our killer cover picks. And again, if there's any covers in the chat that you kind of think that should be it, we can head over to the website and have a look at that. But up first, look at this, sensational. This is awesome.
The interesting thing about doing the cover picks for FOC compared to what we do for the Thursday show is that there's about maybe 20% of the covers that aren't actually revealed yet.
Yeah.
So it does make it a challenge, and that's why every Thursday is going to be probably slightly different in 3 weeks' time, because there'll be more covers revealed.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm biased. Everybody knows that I love Jock's writing, his artwork. I think it's fantastic. I think this cover, if this is the cover that we get, and there's not a huge amount of logos and stuff like that, I think if it's like a minimum trade, then I'll be happy. But I think this cover is the best cover certainly this year, and for me, it's probably one of it's in line for one of the best covers that I've seen in quite a long time. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It feels like I've seen it before. I don't know if this is like a new cover or if it's almost like 3 or 4 different covers that Jock's done over, or artwork that he's done, and he's sort of put this all together for this cover. But you have to see when you actually go onto the Slab Crusaders website and you sort of zoom in on the cover, you get to see all the different details and stuff. This is fantastic.
I can't disagree with you on this. This is superb.
Yeah.
Like, this is superb. And what I'm going to do now is I'm literally just going to do what you said. Look at the detailing on this.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Look, I mean, this is sensational.
Yeah.
It's just something else. And he's just great at what he does, isn't he? He's so good at what he does. Yeah.
I think when he gets to sort of, when it's not just a Batman that you see, or it's a Joker and stuff like that, I think when he does characters like King Kong and Godzilla and stuff like that, that's when you can actually see how good an artist he actually is.
And this is what everyone said. Man, cover picks, they draw you in and want you to buy the book no matter what the story is about. It's so true. So true.
Absolutely.
And
Well, this is issue 5. You know, I've not read issue 1 to 4, and I know for a fact I'm picking this up.
And James has said, happens every week with comics on FOC 2 weeks in a row. Not so much with Marvel, DC, but Indie's really bad for it. Savage Dragon being the worst offender. Savage Dragon's on like 275 in it, I think, at the moment. But yeah, this is an awesome comic. Definitely going to pick up this cover. Now, I love a David Nakayama, and obviously I'm a massive fan of J. Scott Campbell, of John Boy Mayers, and obviously David Nakayama is kind of the Disney-esque drawing and stuff like that. So I've gone for this one because this is just wicked, and I love that. I didn't notice Amanda Waller standing behind literally until 1 second ago.
You know, funny, I only noticed it literally as I was looking at the cover there, because I feel as if I've looked at this cover 3 or 4 times, and that's the first time I've spotted it.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't actually notice that. The only thing I will say about me noticing that is that her hand is huge.
Oh yeah, that's you notice the screen as well is obviously fine, like it's like a
X-ray machine.
Yeah, it's like an X-ray machine. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and she's obviously putting the thing in her that she does to all of the other Suicide Squad members. But is this the Task Force X? I'm looking forward to reading this, but also obviously the cover by attracted me to this. But this is a key as well, and this is a key because welcome to the Suicide Squad. Selena Kyle's first time Catwoman has joined the team.
Oh,
that's interesting. That's wicked. Selena Kyle in the Suicide Squad. How awesome is that? So yeah, wicked. That's definitely a good pickup. So that's another DC one. Marvel.
Yeah, this is one of my picks. Greg Capullo is doing some fantastic work for Marvel at the minute. He's doing Wolverine, and he's also doing the main cover. I think it's the main cover for Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #1. But he's also doing this superb 1 in 100 variant, which is obviously the Virgin variant of this cover. I'm sure there'll probably be some sort of foil. If there's not, they're missing a trick on this one. But I love this. I love the sort of sense of speed that you're getting. You feel as if you're almost riding on the bike with him. But yeah, this is superb. This is Greg Capullo. Now, obviously, if you want to invest in 100 copies, I'm sure if you contact James, he'll be able to sort that out for you. But yeah, this is going to probably be quite an expensive book, I would imagine.
And this is a key as well, because we should find out who the new Spirit of Vengeance will be.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
So that's pretty interesting. There we go. Greg Capullo, cover art. Take my money. There we go. Well, it's your shop, mate. So you're paying yourself. Catwoman will figure a way out of it. Oh yeah, she probably will. But it'd be interesting. Yeah. She always does. But yeah, Ghost Rider Final Vengeance issue #1. And I've gone for. I love a Rose Besch cover. I do love a Rose Besch cover. So I have gone for White Widow issue #4, cover artist by Rose Besch. This is just a pure cover buy. Well, I love Rose Besch.
It's also been done before. Like this exact pose, by Rose Besch, is it not? Somebody confirmed to me, and somebody googled that for me. I'm sure I've seen this before. This exact pose by Rose Besch.
I would say, Rose Besch has done this colours, but I just like all the difference, like all the I don't know what it's called when you kind of like the right angles and you like symmetrical shapes and stuff like that. But this is wicked. This is wicked. I'd say.
Take the triangles. What purpose does the triangles have?
I don't know, but I just think it's awesome. I really like it, but James is saying, "I wish the triangle would disappear." But I like it. I think it's a great comic. This is definitely one I'm picking up. I'll be picking up. I'm definitely sure.
I think this would look absolutely stunning if it was the triangles were taken away and it was like a Virgin cover.
Yeah,
that background behind White Widow is superb.
There's definitely a Rose Besch cover. She's definitely done one of these before, 100%. And I'm not sure if it was for Spider-Gwen or something like that, where she's kind of at the forefront and she's got like a multicolour, I can see it now, a multicolour trainer or something, but she has done this pose before. So I think 100%. This is a rehash. But yeah, I mean, like James will tell you, I bought all of the miniature little characters by Rose Besch that she's done for like Harlequin, Poison Ivy and stuff. And I'm going to be picking up this one, that's for sure, to add to my Rose Besch, because she's the best.
She's a bit of shell.
Right, so that was the cover picks. Now moving over to the top.
We are flying through this today, Charlie. Have you got a bus? Have you got a bus to catch?
I have not got a bus to catch. No, I haven't. I've got another 17 pages that I want to go through after this, so that's what I'm flying through. These are the top number ones. So obviously you can head over to Slab Crusaders website and let's have a look. How many pages are there for the top number ones? I think let's have a quick look. The top number ones are there's 2 pages, right? So you're looking at about 30 odd comics. 30 odd comics for number ones. We've obviously picked our top 4. So up first.
Yeah, this picking my top number ones was tricky because 3 of my top picks were number ones. So I decided to pick my very best, my top pick out of all of them, and keep it for my number 1 pick. So if that made sense, that was a lot of words for not much sense. So we were talking about Boom Studios earlier on, and we were talking about how maybe things have fell away and Image have sort of taken the mantle. I think this might be the book that brings them back kicking and screaming into the forefront of comic readers.
Okay.
Now, this is Man's Best, issue number 1, and this is written by Pornsak Pichotti. I'm committing. Sorry, it's a long name, and it's too late at night. And then the artwork is Jesse Lonergan. This is due in March 20th. Now, the FOC, it's the Ashcan that's available. And I think it was like, I can't remember how much it was on. Maybe you can tell me if you're looking at it, Charlie, how much it is on the website. But I think this might be a good thing to pick up, because I think when these sets of main covers come out, I think this is going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
I've got the synopsis here. I saved it. Homeward bound in an alien world, Man's Best follows 3 emotional support pets living on the starship Horizon, a spaceship searching for a new home to house a humanity compromised by bad decisions and corporate greed. Sounds familiar? But after the ship crashes and the crew is captured, these loyal pets and are their owners' only hope. Outfitted in outrageous tech, these 3 best friends must traverse a hostile world to rescue their owners, leaving them the only hope for a humanity that might not be worth saving. In a harrowing adventure, the pets are faced with challenges that threaten to destroy their most valuable treasure, their friendship.
That sounds interesting.
Sounds deep, doesn't it?
That sounds very, very interesting. Yeah, no, that sounds wicked.
Yeah.
There's some good covers out for that as well.
There is some really good covers. Trish Forstner's doing a variant cover. And there's a 1 in 10 cover by Franny. There's the unlockable variant by Jesse Lonergan, and I think there's maybe 2 or 3 other covers as well. Maybe like a 1 in 15, stuff like that. But I have a feeling whenever the main book comes out in the middle of March, I think we'll probably see a lot of other sort of store variants for this. So definitely one to check out. Remember where you heard it first.
Yes, 100%. So while we're just talking about that, it was driving me mad of where that cover was. That we kind of found out. So where is it? So this is it.
That's it. Yeah, I knew I'd seen it. Like, she's turned the pose around. Yeah, 100%.
It's the silk one. So that is where that cover comes from. So she's
homaged herself. She's homaged herself.
She really has. Like, she's kind of there's the similarities there, definitely. I think it's slightly different and stuff, but you can kind of see that it's very much the
same vibe. What's going on with her left hand?
I'm not sure.
Is that a White Widow thing, or is that just, I don't know?
It might be a White Widow thing, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking it up, definitely. So I have gone for, there we go. Look at this, right? Elvira, right? I had to go for it. Because it was great. There's some really, really good covers in it. It's Elvira meets H.P. Lovecraft. Now, this is obviously, there's 4 covers for this, and it happens to be that it had to happen someday. Elvira accepts the Colette's call of Cthulhu and finds herself as a comical quest for the last copy of the Necrocom with the ghost of H.P. Lovecraft. Will she be able to tolerate Lovecraft long enough to save the world from the great old ones? Find out in his tale of cosmic comedy and tentacle terror from writer Dave Avalon, Elver in Monsterland. and Betty Page, Unbound, and artists Cuba, Ball, Elvira in Monsterland, Vampirella, featuring return cover artist David Costa, interior artist Cuba Ball, along with the return of David Hack, a stunning Elvira photograph cover. Now, this photograph cover is
stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. But if there's ever going to be a term that's going to sell a comic book, it has to be tentacled terror.
Yes.
I've never heard that.
This cover, look at that.
Yeah.
That's
slab worthy.
That's awesome. That is awesome. But I mean, the four covers, obviously, you've got the main cover by David Costa, got cover B by Cuba Bell, cover C by Robert Hack, and then cover D, which is the photo variant. I've never read Elvira, but I would now. It really like shouted out to me. So I was like, yeah, why not? I would read that.
That photo cover definitely jumped out at me as been one to potentially pick up, especially if you were getting it signed and stuff like that. The lady that played Elvira back in the day, that she's still with us, I guess.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, beautiful cover.
But yeah, she has been around forever, absolute ever. And then, oh my god, we're here already. 45 minutes in. Jesus,
we thought it'd be quite fun, guys, to do a facsimile focus. A little bit tongue in cheek, guys, but everybody loves a facsimile. If you can't afford the real thing, then this is an opportunity for you to actually get your grubby hands on a book and give it a good read and see what the fuss is about. And I think there was 2 up for this FOC. If I remember.
Up first, you've gone with
this. Up first, we've got Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars issue number 3. This is obviously written by the great Jim Shooter and Mike Zeck on art and cover art. I'm not going to bother reading the synopsis for this. If you haven't read Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, then what are you doing with your life? But it feels like DC and Marvel are going to pick any book and just hit it with a facsimile. And I just thought it was interesting that this particular book in question, number 3, if I remember rightly, number 3's got a bit of a key about it. Maybe is it mentioned in the Slab Crusaders website?
I'm trying to find it. Secret.
If Efren's still in the chat, I'm sure Efren knows if this is a key or not. I've got a feeling.
It doesn't actually say. It just says key specific info. It doesn't say this, but Efren's probably got the original of this comic.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I'm looking up. I'm looking up to see if it is a key. So this is the first appearance of Volcana and the first appearance of the second Titania, Mary McFerrin. So this is the reason why it's a key. I knew it was a key for some reason. I think most of that runs a key or got keys in it. But yeah, this is an opportunity for you to pick this up and give it a read.
I would pick that up though. Sometimes I'm kind of like with the old school, like the 1970s comics and the 1980s comics. There was far too much going on the covers of them. There was all like, especially with like the Spider-Man and the X-Men and stuff. There was always something going on, and it kind of it was a bit too much. But I think where they've been revamped with like all the new color work and stuff, I find them really interesting. And like I've kind of got like a penchant for obviously Harley Quinn, but I've also got one for a penchant. I've also got one for facsimiles, because unless you're everyone that's kind of been able to pick them up originally and very luckily so and stuff, they're not going to come around too often at decent prices that you're going to be able to get them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is the reason why I found this one in particular quite interesting, because like I don't think this is a hugely expensive book. Like you can probably get this for like 9.8 for $25 or something like that. But what I do like about these facsimiles is they keep all the adverts from that time period. So I find it really interesting going through the old books and the old Air books and seeing all the old adverts and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought this was going to be an interesting pickup, and I think there was another one for DC, Charlie.
Yeah, there was. So I've gone for Green Lantern 87, which is the facsimile edition by Neil Adams. Now, obviously, this was released, I want to say, in 1978 or 1982. Correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, when an earthquake injures Guy Gardner, an even bigger shake-up happens in the life of Hal Jordan when the Guardians select John Stewart in his first ever comic book appearance as the new substitute Green Lantern. The full facsimile reprint also features Green Arrow in What Can One Man Do, and a Green Lantern classic reprint of Earth's first Green Lantern. I'm not a massive Green Lantern fan. Like I've read probably a handful of his comics, and again I would read this because this looks like an awesome comic. It looks like an
Fantastic,
awesome
yeah.
cover.
Two big reasons that for like a high grade on this, you're talking over £1,000
Yeah.
easily. It's got two. It's 1971, by the way. This was
Oh, of
was
course.
originally done, and this is the first appearance of John Stewart as Green Lantern, and the second appearance of Guy Gardner as well. So a real massive key for any Green Lantern fan, Green Arrow fans, and stuff like that. So this is your opportunity to pick it up for next to nothing. So yeah, definitely, this is probably one that I would consider picking up because I haven't read this story, and I think it's probably one of those stories that every comic book reader should read at some point.
Yeah, definitely. But that's kind of it. We've kind of done it. So do we head over? Should we head over and see if there's anything that we've missed from the Slab Crusaders website?
Yeah.
As we mentioned, like we're still trialing the show, so we're kind of finding out things in that. But that works really well. I think it works perfectly. But we can kind of now head over to like Slab Crusaders website. So if you are new to the channel, Slab Crusaders, we kind of go through the FOC of every single comics that you've got coming out each week, and the cut-off date for that is obviously at 9 o'clock on a Sunday. James over at the Slab Crusaders gives you all the warning. They go live on a Wednesday, and you've got until Sunday to sort it out.
One thing I was going to suggest, Charlie, is we can maybe have a look at the box, the Mr. the community box.
Yes.
I think just to remind everybody about that and how good a deal this is.
So basically, the comic community box has been put together by James, and it consists of 6 comics. You've got James will have his pick, and then he will release a poll that will go live on his Facebook Slab Crusaders group, and then the winner of that, the top comic of that, will also go as comic number 2. Then over in the Killer Comic Show, we will pick one, and then we will send one out to the community vote over on YouTube, and then that's number 2 and 3, 3 and 4 comics, and then Triple G Peter will have one on his show, and then also do the community vote as well for the 5 and 6 comics. Now within them 6 comics that you get, if enough boxes sell, there will be a ratio put in to various boxes. So you could be in your chance of receiving a really good ratio. But this is something really, really good. The cost is ridiculous. It's £19.99 £19.99 shipped, or is it £24.99 stacked? Oh no, sorry, £19.99 stacked, or £23.99 shipped.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the monthly comic book coming out in January, we've got Kid Venom, 3 variants there, all 4 variants. You've got X-Men 1, which was the Killer Comic Show pick. You've got Thundercats, issue number 2. 6 covers to choose from there. You've got Batman Dark Age, which was the poll, the comic selected over on James's Facebook group. You've got Star Wars Jango Fett, the 4 issues there, the 4 covers there that was picked over on the Killer Comic Show community tab. And then you have X-Men 97, which was from Triple G's channel. And it's as simple as that. It's basically 6 times brand new bagged and boarded comics selected from January's previews. Each comic will have various comic covers available. You can choose which cover you want. Each box will also come with a chance of having a 7th comic added to it in the form of either a ratio comic or 1 per store variant. For this month's comic, 5 boxes lucky boxes will have one of the following comics added to it, no matter how many boxes sell. Thundercats issue number 1 is the 1 in 40 Declan Shalvey Virgin variant. Number 2 is the Book of Butcher issue number 1 by Dan Mora. The Ray Flavors issue number 3, 1 per store variant by Andrade. The Pine and Merrimack issue number 1 by Henderson, and the Mosley issue number 3, 1 per store Gilroy variant cover. Additionally, as the community box grows in popularity, when enough boxes sell, ratios for the 6 comics selected will be unlocked, and they'll be added to some lucky boxes. The boxes will be selected using a random name generator.
Nice.
There we go, and he's broken it down. The first 3 comics are selected by Slab Crusaders, Killer Comic Show, Triple G, and then the final 3 comics will be picked by the Facebook community Slab Crusaders vote, the Killer Comic Show YouTube vote, and then Triple G's YouTube vote. This is it. You can't get better than this, can you? Really? Like you really can't.
No, absolutely. I think it's a really good opportunity to get 6 books for a really low cost, and also probably more importantly, it gets you an opportunity to sample the kind of a service that you would expect to receive as well. So whether you want to wait until all your comics come in and then get it sent out, or if you just want to stack it and then browse through the FOC list and add some more books to that. It couldn't be any easier. And what I found as well is that James is very much welcome to hearing feedback. So, and he acts upon it as well. Anything that helps to streamline that process of picking up your comics, I think is a great thing. So yeah, I can't fault it, and it won't be too long until I have to get my next box of comics sent to me.
I mean, for £20, you literally can't go wrong. James has just said, speaking of old adverts, I had a customer submit the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen issue number 5 recalled edition. The advert in that is an eye opener.
I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's not safe for work. So
it's not safe for work. But I mean, this is awesome. It's just wicked. As it grows in popularity, it's gonna be, and it's getting good traction as well. It's getting very good traction, and there are some sensational comic covers over there that you can kind of. It's very similar to a mystery box, but it's better than that because the mystery involved in it is when are you going to receive it?
Well, that's one thing. But I think the beauty of this is that there definitely is that mystery box. But I think if you are going to be picking up these comics anyway, then it's an absolute no-brainer because of the price.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there's. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next choices are for the next box and stuff like that. And I think is more, obviously the more people that pick it up, the more chance everybody's got of getting a nice ratio or extra books in it. So make sure you at least give this one a go, see what you think, and go from there.
But so we obviously showed our 3 our cover picks and stuff, but there are quite a few out. You've got Superman issue number 11 cover B by Lee Bemijo. I love a Lee Bemijo cover.
Nice.
Batman 144 by Razar. You've got, I like this one, Batman 89 Echoes, Joe Quinones, Harley Quinn, and Batgirl. Then you have Echoes number 2 by Daniel Warren Johnson. Awesome cover. I'll pick that up all day long. I'm not even sure why I didn't pick that one because that's awesome. You've got Batman the Brave and the Bold issue number 10 by Martina. You have the Catwoman one, which we picked. You've also got an Inuit Lee variant cover. You have the George Fornes variant cover. I quite like that. That's like an old TV show cover. You've got the Green Lantern.
This was the one. This was the one that I saw and I thought was absolutely stunning. Again, it feels like this is a cover that I've seen before, specifically by Raza. I think this is fantastic. This Green Lantern War Journal number 6. But again, only if it doesn't have lots of logos and things on it, because I don't know if that's what we're actually going to get.
Yeah. Then you've got the Justice League First Godzilla vs. Kong 5, which is obviously what you self-picked for Jock. You have the Nightwing by Nick Robles, Sweater Weather Edition. You've got Superman and Lois Lane getting all kinky there in the Ariel Diaz sweater. You have Wonder Woman with Julian Tolentino Tedesco. And this one,
whoa, what is going on there?
By Martina. That is an absolute face on that. Then you've got Gargoyles, the character toy edition variant, and then we have the Avengers Twilight, Sarah Pichelli, various Ghost Rider comics.
That Ghost Rider by Ben Sue is fun as well, and I think that might be one of the covers that's going to absolutely go on fire.
Yeah, I think it will do. I think that's awesome. You've got Giant Size Fantastic Four. You have Thrawn. Do you remember when you kind of drew a Thrawn? Was it a Thrawn or a Spawn?
A Spawn.
It was a Spawn, wasn't it? And then we've got Vision. So this definitely, we see this last week, and obviously it's been put back.
The Peach Momoko cover's been released. So,
and then we have White Widow, and then we have this one, the American Psycho. I was close to picking this. The only thing is that for me that looks more like red wine than blood.
Well, this is. I think they've done all the issues as these business cards, haven't they?
Yeah. Yep. And then we've got Quested Season 2, which is good for all them gamers out there. This is obviously a Wii game homage kind of thing. You've got Quested there. I'm not sure, that kind of looks like me in the mornings. And then obviously we've got the Spawn issue number 350. So as we mentioned, there's loads for you to head over and take your pick from Slab Crusaders. There's Marvel FOC, DC FOC, the Key Spec comics, top picks of the week, and then you've got cover buys, new number ones, the box, ratios, Dynamite. There's loads over there. There's fantastic selection over there, and then not being funny, if you kind of see the comic that you want and you sit on it until Sunday and then you end up missing it anyway, more for you, because
Absolutely.
there's
They can't say we haven't warned them, Charlie. You know, we can't say it.
do you know what, they can't say we didn't warn them, but we've warned them, and we've basically just told you to fuck off over to the site, buy the comics that you want, buy the comics that you enjoy, make sure you don't miss out, and pick them up before they go onto Evil Bay for silly money. That's
Absolutely.
basically the end game. That's it.
100%, 100%. No, I like this new format. Us picking our sort of keys. I think sort of moving forward, it might be interesting to get James to pick one for
Yes,
each section as well, and we can include that.
yes,
And
definitely.
obviously, once Peter and Tom are available, we can
Mhm.
also let those guys chip in with their picks.
Well, I mean, we're free shows in. Nothing starts overnight, but we're onto something good here. So just massive shout out to everyone in the chat that joins us. Thanks for joining. Thanks for enjoying it. We are back tomorrow at 9 o'clock, as always, over on same time, same place, the Killer Comedy Show live at 9 p.m. over on the channel. And then you've also got Peter doing his Saturday night show, his Monday night show. He'll be back tomorrow, which is always good to have the full team on board. So yeah, anything else, Andy?
Absolutely. No, that was good fun. And I do hear a rumor that there's a chance that the Fabulous Four will be on tomorrow. But yeah, let's watch this space. Guys, if you are watching this in the rewind, make sure that you leave a wee comment. Let us know what you thought of this. And if you can just hit that thumbs up, doesn't cost anything, but just lets us know if you're enjoying the show. Exactly,
Just
Charlie.
just send the love. Just send the love. That's all we want. We just want some love for the channel
Indeed.
and the content that we give you. But James has said, great show, lads. Always great company when sorting through the weekly delivery. When James says he's sorting through a weekly delivery, I can honestly say there's probably a minimum of 1,000 comics.
Easily. Easily.
Easy.
And
Plus Pokemon
actually,
cards as well.
I was just yeah, probably just Pokemon. I was actually just thinking there. James and the Slab Crusaders have their own channel.
Hmm.
Make sure you go and subscribe to that as well, because James goes live and runs through the hundreds of slabs that he gets through,
Yeah.
giving them a sort of insight as to what other people are buying and his sort of thought process whenever he's checking out the quality of the books that he gets back from CGC. So make sure that you give
Yes.
him a sub.
Perfect. So yeah, as mentioned, we will see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow, as always, over on the Killer Comic Show. Fantastic, and that's all from us. So you can all just fuck off now. Ta-da.
Bye bye.